you are tired, not the kind of tired that sleep can fix. You wake up, and before the day has even begun, there are already things waiting for you. People who need you, things that need to be done, decisions that cannot wait, and somehow, you become the person who keeps everything moving. So, you keep moving too, even when something inside you is asking you to stop. You answer the messages, you show up, you keep your promises, you take care of what needs to be taken care of. And when someone asks how you are, you say you are fine, because explaining how tired you really are would take more energy than you have. So, you keep going. You carry the responsibility. You carry the expectations. You carry the things you cannot control. You carry the things you wish you could change. You carry the things you never told anyone about. And after carrying all of it for so long, you begin to forget that you were never meant to carry everything. Maybe that is why even rest does not always feel like rest, because even when your body stops, your mind keeps going. You lie down, but you are still thinking, still planning, still worrying, still trying to figure out what tomorrow will require from you. You are physically still, but inside, you are still carrying things you were never supposed to carry alone. And maybe what you need is not another reminder to be strong. Maybe you need permission to put the weight down. But sometimes, you have carried it for so long that putting it down feels unfamiliar. You have learned to sleep with the worrying, wake up with the worrying, move through the day with the worrying. You have learned to smile with the pain, to pray with the pain, to say I am fine when you are not, until carrying the burden starts to feel normal, and you forget what it feels like to be without it. Maybe you do not even know what you would do if you were not worrying, if you were not fixing, if you were not trying to hold everything together. Because somewhere along the way, survival became your normal. But surviving is not the same as living. You can keep going and still be exhausted. You can smile and still be hurting. You can be grateful and still need rest. You can love the people around you and still need someone to carry you. You can have faith and still feel tired. And maybe being tired does not mean you have failed. Maybe it simply means you have been carrying something heavy for too long. And sometimes, the hardest thing to carry is not the weight itself. It is the uncertainty, not knowing what happens next, not knowing how things will work out, not knowing when the burden will finally become lighter. So, you try to prepare yourself for every possibility. You think about what could go wrong. You replay what has already happened. You try to find answers before the questions have even arrived. And somehow, you end up carrying tomorrow before tomorrow ever comes. But the truth is, you were never meant to know the whole road. You were only meant to take the next step. And that is where we have been exhausting ourselves, trying to know what only tomorrow can reveal, trying to control what was never in our hands, trying to prepare for pain that has not happened yet, trying to solve problems that have not arrived yet. And while you are busy preparing for tomorrow, today keeps passing. The people you love are here. This moment is here. Your life is happening here. But your mind is somewhere ahead, trying to survive a future you have not reached yet. The truth is, you can rest without knowing what comes next. Maybe you have spent so much time trying to make sure nothing goes wrong that the thought of letting go feels almost frightening. Because what if you stop worrying and something happens? What if you stop planning and you are not ready? What if you stop holding everything together and everything falls apart? So you stay alert even when there is nothing left to do. You stay prepared even when there is nothing left to prepare for. You stay awake long after your body has asked you to rest, not because something is happening, but because you are afraid of what might happen, and that fear has been asking you to carry tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. But tomorrow is not here yet, and yet you are still tired, because the weight was never only tomorrow. It was everything you have been carrying, for everyone, for so long. The pressure you have been trying to survive, the fear of losing someone you love, the prayer you have prayed so many times, the grief you still do not know how to carry, the disappointment you never expected, the question you have been afraid to ask, the thing you keep telling yourself you should be over by now, and somehow you are still carrying it, still showing up, still saying you are fine, still trying to be strong, while most nights it keeps you awake, staring at the ceiling, drowning in your thoughts, until you realize you are exhausted and you still cannot sleep. And the truth is, Jesus already knows what exhaustion feels like. He knows what it means to carry a weight you were never meant to carry alone. He says, "Come unto me, all ye who are weary and are heavy burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11 verse 28. Come as you are. Come tired. Come broken. Come with the tears you have been hiding. Come with the questions you still do not have answers for. Come with the prayer you have almost stopped praying. Come with the faith that feels smaller than it used to. Come with the grief you still cannot explain. Come with the heart that does not know how to keep going. You do not have to pretend you are okay. You do not have to hide what hurts. You do not have to fix yourself before you come. Just come, because Jesus did not say, "Come when you have recovered." He said, "Come when you are weary. Come when you are heavy laden. Come when you have reached the end of your strength. Come, and He will give you rest." What does that rest look like? When the thing you are praying about is still unresolved, when the person you love is still going through something, when the answer you have been waiting for still has not come, when the grief is still there and the questions still have no answers. Jesus never said, "Come to me and everything troubling you will disappear." He said, "Come to me and I will give you rest." There is a difference between having no problems and no longer being consumed by them. There is a difference between having no questions and no longer needing every answer before you can be at peace. There is a difference between the storm being over and knowing where to stand while it is still raining. The rest Jesus offers is not a promise that everything around you will immediately become peaceful. It is an invitation to stop letting everything around you decide what happens inside you. You can still have questions. You can still be waiting. You can still be hurting. Some things may still be unfinished, and yet you do not have to spend every moment fighting to make them make sense. You can breathe while the answer is still coming. You can live today without knowing exactly what tomorrow will bring. You can let some things remain in God's hands without checking on them every moment, because peace does not always come when everything is resolved. Sometimes peace comes when you finally stop demanding that everything be resolved before you allow yourself to rest. That is the rest Jesus is inviting you into. Sometimes the hardest part of resting is not knowing how to stop. It is not knowing what might happen if you do. You have spent so long being responsible for everything within your reach that letting go can feel like losing control. You are used to checking. You are used to playing. You are used to thinking 3 steps ahead. You are used to being the one who notices what everyone else misses. So, when Jesus says, "Come unto me," part of you may still wonder what happens to everything you have been holding together. Who will take care of it? What if something goes wrong? What if you stop paying attention and something falls apart? But rest asks you to recognize something you may have forgotten. You are not God. You were never meant to see everything. You were never meant to control everything. You were never meant to carry everything. There will always be something you cannot predict, something you cannot prevent, something you cannot fix, and exhausting yourself will not give you control over what was never yours to control. Jesus is not asking you to stop carrying. He is asking you to stop carrying what belongs in His hands. There is a difference between being responsible and believing everything depends on you. There is a difference between doing what you can and believing you must do everything. And there is a difference between trusting God with your life and constantly trying to take your life back into your own hands. You can care deeply and still release what you cannot control. You can love someone and still trust God with them. You can do what is yours to do and leave what is beyond you with Him. That is not giving up, that is trust. And sometimes the rest you have been asking God for begins with one simple decision: to stop carrying what you were never asked to carry. There is a difference between knowing that God is able to carry you and actually allowing yourself to be carried. You can believe that God is faithful and still spend every night trying to solve what you have already prayed about. You can trust His character and still struggle to trust His timing. You can know that He is near and still feel afraid of what might happen next. That does not make your faith fake. It makes you human. Trust is not pretending that nothing can go wrong. Trust is knowing that even when something does go wrong, you will not be alone in it. You do not have to know how God will work everything out before you trust Him with it. You do not have to see the ending before you take His hand. You do not have to understand the silence before you believe He is still there. There are things you may never be able to explain while you are living through them. There are prayers that may take longer than you expected. There are seasons when God may feel quiet, and those seasons can make you wonder if you have been forgotten. But silence is not the same as absence. Waiting is not the same as abandonment. And not knowing what God is doing does not mean He is doing nothing. Sometimes faith looks less like having answers and more like staying close when you do not have them. You bring Him the thing you cannot fix. You bring Him the person you cannot protect. You bring Him the future you cannot see. And then you let yourself breathe. Not because you know exactly what will happen, because you know who you have placed it with. That is where trust begins. Not when you finally understand everything, but when you decide that you do not need to. And when you stop needing to understand everything, something begins to change. You begin to notice the life that is happening while you are still waiting for answers. You notice the conversation you almost missed because your mind was somewhere else. You notice the person sitting beside you who did not need you to solve anything. You notice the quiet moment that you would have rushed past before. You notice the ordinary day that you once thought was not important enough to notice. You begin to realize that you have spent so much time preparing for what could happen that you forgot. Something is already happening. Your life is happening now. It is happening not when the prayer is answered, not when the situation finally makes sense, and not when you know what tomorrow will bring. It is happening now, and you are allowed to be here. You are allowed to laugh without wondering when it will end. You are allowed to enjoy something good without preparing yourself for it to disappear. You are allowed to love people without trying to control how long you will have them. You are allowed to have an ordinary day without needing it to prove that everything is going to be okay. Because trusting God does not mean you stop living. It means you no longer have to spend your life trying to protect yourself from every possible tomorrow. You can do what today requires and leave tomorrow where it belongs with God, and something else begins to happen. The things you carry may still be there, but you begin to carry them differently. You can care without carrying everything. You can love without trying to control everything. You can work without believing everything depends on you. You can pray without spending the rest of the night trying to force an answer. The weight may not disappear overnight, but it does not have to own you, because rest has begun to change something deeper than your circumstances. It is changing the way you move through them. You are no longer living as though everything depends on you. You are learning to live knowing that God is carrying you, and that changes the way you carry life. The next chapter should not go back into exhaustion or trust. We have already earned those. After the last chapter ends with, and that changes the way you carry life. The natural next movement is to go deeper into Jesus Himself. Not what He gives, not what He fixes, not even the rest. Him. Because Matthew 11:28 does not begin with, "Come to rest." It begins with, "Come to me." So this chapter should gently move the audience from the gift of rest to the person who gives it. And maybe this is what we miss sometimes. We become so focused on the rest Jesus offers that we forget He first invited us to come to Him. He did not say, come when you have figured everything out. He did not say, come when your life is finally together. He did not say, come when you have enough faith. He simply said, come to me. And that invitation is still open. You do not have to come with the right words. You do not have to know how to explain everything you are feeling. You do not have to understand what God is doing. You only have to come. Come when you are tired. Come when you are disappointed. Come when your faith feels small. Come when you have questions. Come when you do not know what to pray. Come when all you can do is sit quietly before Him. You do not have to bring Him a stronger version of yourself. You can bring Him the version of you that is here today. The one who is still healing. The one who is still waiting. The one who is still learning to trust. The one who is still carrying things you have not learned to release. Jesus is not waiting for you to become whole before you come to Him. He is asking you to come so that you do not have to walk through your brokenness alone. So come, not because you have everything figured out, but because you do not. Come because you are tired. Come because you need Him. And stay because the one who called you is not asking you to carry yourself. And perhaps this is where you begin to learn a different way to carry life. Not by trying harder, not by becoming stronger, but by staying close to the one who knows how to carry what is heavy. Jesus said, come to me all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11 verse 28. Then He says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. Jesus said, come to me, take my yoke, learn of me, and rest. Rest when you understand, and rest when you do not. Trust Him with what you cannot control. Trust Him with what you cannot change. Trust Him with what you cannot understand. Trust Him with the people you love. Trust Him with tomorrow. You were never meant to hold everything together. There is a God who sees what you cannot see, who knows what you do not know, who holds what you cannot hold. So let everything remain in His hands. So rest, not because you know how everything will end, but because you know who holds everything. He is God, and He is still in control. Let's say this prayer together. Dear Father, I thank you for the person watching this right now. I thank you because you will give them rest. I thank you because you know them completely. You know their heart. You know how tired they have become. You know what they have been carrying. You know what no one else knows about them. And Lord, your word says come, so they come before you today just as they are. They come tired. They come broken. They come weary. And they lay it all at your feet. They lay their pain at your feet. They lay their burdens at your feet. They lay their sleepless nights at your feet. They lay their loneliness at your feet. They lay their fears at your feet. They lay everything they have been carrying for so long at your feet. Lord, give them rest. Give their heart rest. Give their mind rest. Give their soul rest. Let them know that they are not alone. Let them know that you are near. Let them know that you see them. Let them know that you are holding them. And when they wake tomorrow, let them remember that they do not have to carry everything alone, because you are with them, and you are still in control. In Jesus' name, Amen. If this message reached you, take a moment and type, Lord, I rest in you, in the comments. And if you know someone who needs this rest today, share this prayer with them. Like this video so this message can reach someone who needs it. And subscribe for more messages like this. Just Selah. Rest is here.